Hey,
In that particular.
okay, but it doesn't, so therefore they've done their job. We have still yet to be settled on something that we've been talking about for God knows how long. So if we're gonna say that that weight room is not important, then that's fine, but we need to tell Campbell County that. We need to say, hey, Campbell County, that weight room facility is not important. That's what we're saying, because we've been putting this off for God knows how long.
Price of MBI, the estimated cost is $450,000.
To put a Band-Aid on something, correct?
Fix the building that's standing with a brand new roof on it 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and a brand new heat and air unit, and.
Which Jellicoe needs, we said that last night.
You know, I mean, we've had multiple meetings on this throughout the year.
So, just to clarify, so you're saying that we have met, and that we decided to just pass that, correct? Because I don't remember that. I remember that, absolutely, I remember hiring MBI, but I don't remember hiring MBI to do the work. Because I think we settled that last night, meeting.
I'm not sure we settled a whole lot of it.
Well, no, we've not settled anything for quite a while.
Yeah. No, this was pushed hard last night.
But that's the thing with me is that, I mean, either we fix the building or we don't. But if we're saying we're not gonna fix it, you're basically saying that sports at Campbell County is not important. That's what we're saying at this current time.
We're not saying that.
Well, then what are you saying?
I said we're gonna fix the building. I didn't say we're.
So you alone are saying that we're gonna fix the building. I don't know, I can't remember that being right.
Let's just suspend the rules and make a motion to fix the building for MBI.
Okay, so you wanted to spend $500,000
That's exactly right.
to fix that building, as is.
Because here's the other caveat.
Go ahead.
Your proposal of 1.7 million last night, it's not gonna build that building.
It's not gonna build the giant building, and we explained that last
I
time.
mean, it's gonna take about 3.5.
They asked for 3.2 million, and we said, hey, we're not gonna give you 3.2.
For that.
Jellicoe asked for 125, we said, hey, we'll give you 300.
Where's your funding source to finish the building?
Two, what do you mean to finish the building?
1.7.
They have 1.7, they have $1.7 million. So if, that, and that's fine, they can build what they can for $1.7 million.
Oh, we're just gonna throw it up and leave it without completion.
What do you hire, obviously you have to hire someone, correct? And if we can't trust MBI, or we can't trust Lewis Group to say, hey, this is what we want for this amount of money, build what we can with this amount of money. If we can't trust them, then we need to hire new architects. Right?
You're not gonna get the schematics that you put forward last night is not gonna be able to be done.
What did I put forward?
The email from the director yesterday, we got an email during the meeting.
That's not what was discussed at all. If you'd been there, you'd probably know. That was off the table. That's been off the table. We said we can't build that. We can't afford that. And that's fine. But we have $2 million that we've allotted already in this year's budget for capital outlay projects, not academics, capital outlay projects, just to let that be known. And by the way, I've got some numbers here that says we had almost $34 million, $33,500,000 is spent on academics. So $500,000, by the way, is spent on athletics. So my thing is like I said, at the end of the day, you all decide what you want to decide, okay? But if we're saying that that's not important, we need to let them know, because that's what we're saying. Because we've been sitting on this for God knows how long. So,
Well, I don't think you're not saying that sports is not important, because when our tennis team was winning and we came to the board to try to get a $350,000 tennis court.
but we were also facing about a $1 million deficit. That's when that was brought forward. Yeah, I think so. But again, like I said, just somebody come up with something. Can we do that?
Madam
Because
Chairman,
I'll go.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, we'll take a vote. Ms. Bell, call the roll.
Second to
Oh, I have to say. Oh, Ms. Creedmoor.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Creedmoor seconded it, yes.
Please.
I don't have enough information to just turn into a building, sell in, to commit $500,000 from the property right behind it, so that's my concern on that.
Madam Chair,
Ready for suspension or?
to suspend rules. Burge,
No.
Creekmore. Yes. Fields. Yes. Heatherly. I'm sorry. James.
No.
Leslie.
Yes.
Lester.
No.
Miller.
Yes.
Rodman.
No.
Motion carried.
I think we have someone from the office, Mr. Dwayne, who comes from the president application.
Fine with me.
Okay.
I was like to say something real quick, you know, me being in the third district, we don't have a whole lot of schools in our district, and that high school is one of mine. And I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. We're losing kids to other schools, and it's not because of academics. Our academic department is great. But we're losing kids because the same reason when you was younger is because our system wasn't putting money into sports. Okay? And those kids went elsewhere. Look what happened. All right? Now, if you're going to set aside and put in $500,000 to try to fix that, when they already told you it's going to cost you $500,000 to tear it down and $500,000 to build back what you got, then you go right ahead. I'm going to tell you right now, the school down the road is building a brand new sports complex. So if you want to continue to lose kids to somewhere else, then you go ahead and put the $500,000 into it and see what happens. Because I guarantee it is. And then when you lose kids, you lose funding. And you all know that. And when you lose the funding, schools have to close. And we already have schools that's losing money. Those will be the first ones to go, in my opinion. You just need to think about that. That's all I got.
$878,000 is produced by Campbell County High School over the expenditure. $878 million. I mean, they could save for 2 years, do the building themselves. But instead, obviously, that money has to go elsewhere. So, I mean, I'm sorry, if I'm gonna vote on something, I'm gonna vote on doing it right. I mean, or we could maybe hire a shuttle service and shuttle people around the back of the building and let them know what we spent $600,000 on. We can do that.
I understand the 1.7 million that was presented earlier last night. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there last night, but, the 1.7 million MBI, whoever we hire can create a budget and a building to fit what what we can afford. And, I'm a member of the third district, representing the third district. This is a school in the third district, and I'm in full support of it. I don't think that, putting a Band-Aid on this is the right thing to do. I feel like moving forward, we're doing something that is good for not only the football program, but good for all of the sporting programs at the high school to utilize it. I think it's just a no-brainer. That's why.
Do we not have Uncle Brady or whomever, tell us what they can do for 1.4 million, we have something in front of us that we see, what we're voting on? I didn't think it's none of my concern other than the money, but show me something. I don't wanna vote on something I don't see what you're spending on 1.4 million. I've seen enough contracts to know they throw any number out there, who's it
tell Michael Brady and he was the guy to build us what you can build us a 1.7, that's a shot in the dark. What are we going to get for that 1.7? I think if we had a referee on, and I'm thinking, second last year, we did say how Michael Brady too. And it did say put out bid. I wasn't saying putting out bid meant we're requesting to rebuild what we had him come and look at. I guess that's one of them, you know, assuming things.
Yes. One thing I would like to say, I mean, I felt like the entire purpose of the committee meeting last night was to prevent this from being an issue tonight. And it was a unanimous vote last night to come before the board. So I don't know what has happened now. I will say, we have been to the field house multiple times. We've been with the insurance company. We've had MDI draw up drawings for a major sports complex. And we agreed that, no, we wouldn't go that large. We would scale it down to something. And we had Mr. Collette, the athletic director and assistant principal at Campbell County High School, discussed last night what he did when he oversaw the building of the sports complex when he was assistant principal and athletic director at Clinton High School. So, I mean, we came in here tonight with the assumption that we were moving forward with that, not to exceed a budget, but to work within a budget, what our budget would allow, to be able to meet the needs of multiple sports programs at Campbell County High School that were not in a structure that was not at risk of structural damage, because it was built up there on the clay dirt and near the rock quarry, and that was a concern. So I thought all this was discussed last night, and we were ready to move forward, because the fact remains that we have a weight room that is non-existent, and our students are having to work in a small roped-off area of a building that one end of it has been condemned and deemed unsafe, and we don't know whether to move that to the JROTC building and put up a weight room in a portion of that, which is going to cause problems with the program that is in there. So it's causing a lot of problems school-wide, and we're not meeting the needs of the students. So I urge the board to take action as.
class also.
What? Yes.
I thought Coach Price said that there was around, was it 325 or 375 kids each day that used that?
Yeah, there's over 400 out there.
That's my biggest concern is, you know, we're looking at, there's nothing else, you know, the weight room is my concern, regardless of where it goes, but I'm not in favor of going in and tearing that building down and putting it back and then having the same problems 5 years down the road. So that's the only concern I have. But I'm not advocating to spend a sports complex we need a weight room, Campbell County High School. If we're going to have a football program, and if we have a football program, we have to fund it. That's part of it, like it or not. You know, if we have a program, you got to have a weight room, you got to fund it. So, with that being said, sounds like that. Unless I'm missing something, are we okay with making plans for a new weight room, or we want to go larger than that, or what's?
And you weight room down in the water.
That was my understanding.
Is that what we're talking about building, or we talking about building that with the indoor rooms and so forth like that, with it as far as the money's will go?
This is just the allocation of funds. You're not passing the building. I mean, for us to have a building pass, we have to obviously vote on what we're spending that money on. This is just the allocation of funds.
What kind of, you done some checking, Joshua?
Yeah, right. So I don't understand.
How many square feet are we looking at to do? What kind of square foot are we looking at?
Complex, but what was it built?
We just built
Once
it.
this passes,
It's the same
bring
thing
it,
we
let
built.
it come back and say, here, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what you're gonna vote.
Okay, the reason I sent the plans out last night in the email is because originally it was going to have a track, filter, a turf floor, it was going to have, tennis courts, it was going to be a sports complex. Well, after reviewing that, we knew that was, beyond the scope of the budget that we wanted to, work within. Mr. Collette had said that that was larger than anything they needed at Campbell County High School. They just needed a facility that would allow multiple sports programs to come in for conditioning, practice. Before it, we had even said, I think, a gym floor in part of it. That is no longer, I don't know what the flooring would be
And it
now.
might be if it's within the 1.7.
And they also said last night that they had already raised $150,000 for extras to go in to that building. So that's an extra $150,000 that they have raised.
And in 2000, I think it was 2017, I know when I came into this position in 2018, money had been allocated for tennis courts at Jellicoe High School. Crystal, you'll know more, so correct me on this. But at some point, it was decided that was no longer what the fifth district wanted to use those funds for. So for a while, it was referred to as fifth district capital outlay. So the money had been allocated for tennis courts, but when they decided they didn't want tennis courts, I think Crystal made a motion one night, she wanted something, maybe Crystal was at bleachers at Jellicoe Elementary.
It was all used for things that was needed.
Yes, and it was just like a little savings account for what capital outlay projects were needed at Jellicoe High School, or the fifth district. And that's similar to what this would be. The money would be set aside at the $300,000 for Jellicoe High
So
School.
you're not gonna go over 1.7, this group? You're not gonna come back and.
Was that stated last night?
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Mr. Collette, was that not stated last night?
Yes, sir.
I mean, and that's the thing, is that if MBI comes back, or Elizabeth, whoever we use, and they come back and say, hey, this, I mean, about the size of the weight room is all you can build back, that's fine. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think that you can make it a little bigger. I think that you can make it a little nicer with the 1.7, so.
What did they raise?
Yeah, plus the 150 that they.
Or have a facility that is large enough for expansion. If they wanted to add certain things to it later on, they have the space available to do that, and depending on the donations that may come in, or what the school may raise, they could